Hi, this is Allison,
And this is Isabel.
and this is our final design video for ECH1.
Here we are roasting our green beans, which is 120 grams, and we roasted at a 989 fan setting. And as we went, we slowly kind of decreased the fan and the power as the time went down, and then we recorded our energy intake.
As our brew was finishing up roasting, we decided to weigh out the water so we could get to the perfect 300 grams that we wanted.
Here we're heating our water, and we decided to do 97 degrees Celsius, and we used 0.02 kilowatts per hour.
Here we just finished roasting our medium roast, and we're working to get rid of the excess chaff.
Our final energy output was 0.23 kilowatts per hour.
Our Colombian beans were roasted to a medium roast and weighed out to be 103 grams.
Here we're grinding our beans using a 20 grind size.
Our final mass of grinded coffee beans was 20.0 grams.
So here we're starting our brew using the French press and pouring the hot water over the grounds to make sure they're all wet to be brewed. And we used our Colombian beans to make a medium roast because it was more energy efficient and uses less energy than a dark roast, because in total we used 0.25 kilowatts per hour.
The cup our final brew was poured into is 196 grams.
So after a 6-minute extraction time, this is us pouring our coffee into our vessel to weigh it out, and we ended up with a final total weight of 437.3 grams, which we subtracted from that 196, which was the weight of the cup, and we got a total of 241.3 grams, which we then used in our PE equation.
We then took the TDS of our brewed coffee, which ended up being 1.16%. That number was then used to be put into the percent extraction equation to give us our final of 13.9954.
So here's our percent extraction, with the 1.16 being our TDS. The 241.3 grams is our total weight in liquid coffee, divided by 20, which is our mass of dry grounds. Taste test!
Overall, this brew was a mock-up of what we were going to do for the final competition. For the final competition, we did this brew 3 times to get the amount of liquid coffee that we needed. We found that this coffee was a perfect mix of not too bitter, not too sour, and had a good nutty taste.
And for our actual design project, our coffee ended up a little bit too sour, and as it sat, it tasted a little bit better, but it did not place very well, and we were in the bottom 3 of the taste test and taste evaluations.
Okay, if we were to have another future hypothetical contest and wanted to make any adjustments to our brew, the first thing we kind of agreed upon was maybe testing out more brew ratios. We were thinking maybe a higher brew ratio would be better because we found that sometimes our coffee would be a little sour. So if we made the brew ratio higher, it might make it a little more bitter and stronger and full body.
And with that, we'd also want to switch up our extraction time a bit, because we were getting a slightly more sour tasting coffee. We think maybe if we adjust our extraction time and made it higher, it could produce a better tasting coffee with the change in brew ratio.
Yes.